everyone, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 3. This was a request, and it was requested that I build a 70s style split level, and I could only use certain expansion packs. The packs that were used was Generations, High-End Loft, Supernatural, Seasons, University, Island Paradise, In the Future, Pets, Late Night, World Adventures, and any of the free store content that I currently have. And this house ended up, let's see, it ended up being going to cost your Sims approximately 96,000 simoleons. And if you get it unfurnished, it'll be approximately 54,000 simoleons. This house, the beginning portion of it, I guess you could say the exterior building of it and I guess the wallpapers for the exterior was all done on live stream. And if you would like to see that live stream, I'll go ahead and post a link for it, of course, down below in the description, which will actually have more of an explanation, I guess, on what it is that I'm doing and how I created this style of split level. It's about 57 minutes long, I believe. It's that long because I kept stopping so I could read, messages, and I could chat with everybody and things like that. So, yeah. So it's a little bit long. I would have to say that live stream's probably going to take a while because, I'm not used to actually doing it in live time. I'm not used to somebody actually watching every little thing that I'm doing. So, yeah. I seem to stop and think a lot more. With this house, I felt because of it being the split level and everything, I needed to have a little bit more of an idea of where my stairs were going to go. So that's why I did the upstairs floor plan portion of it prior. That way I had, like I said, a little more idea, to be able to get the stairs and everything in. I thought I would do that before I really got into it because of having to use constrained floor elevation a little bit more extensively, is that the word? More than usual. So I just, we had a little bit of problems with the roof. The roof always wants to clip in and be a major pain. And then eventually I end up getting it to where it works just by having constrained floor elevation on. For whatever reason, the stairs decided, okay, I'll go in, without fighting. They just went in. Like I said, I didn't do all this on live stream. I just didn't have enough time. I only did about an hour of live stream, and I got to chat with some of you, so that was amazing. I love doing that. I love chatting with everybody. And the reason why I really wanted the stairs here to go to the left, but because I have it bumped out just a little bit right there, the wall just kind of gets in the way. So I couldn't really put them there because of the fact that the stairs, like I said, the wall was in the way, so, which kind of stinks. Then I kind of wanted to have this come out just a little bit because I thought, well, I wanted the kitchen to be a little bit bigger, but it just wasn't looking right. It didn't look good. So I ended up getting rid of it, and this is basically the way the structure ends up looking. I would have much rather have had the roof more slanted, and I was going to fix that on my own time when I wasn't live streaming, and I got in there and I went to do that, and I was like, I really don't want to mess with constrained floor elevation anymore now that I've got it, pretty much all set up. And I even had furniture in there, and that was going to cause problems when it comes to putting the roof on. And I just did not really want to go through it. I really didn't want to do that. So I didn't end up making the roof a little bit more slanted at the top. So that's pretty much the way it looks. I tried to make it as, close to the era as possible. However, because of the way Sims is, with the slanting of the wall and it looking a little weird and glitching out and doing this and that, basically I view this house as a 70s styled home that was updated on the exterior with brick and I guess you could say stucco. And then of course new roof, because the roof definitely looks nice and newer. But the interior I was able to, for the most part, I guess, at least I think I did anyway, keep it pretty close to the 70s era. So, you know, it's outdated. The interior is definitely outdated. The house, I would say, has a total of, well, since they're split, I guess you could say it's like 4 floors. But you only have to do page up or page down. You only have like, it's considered only 2, but it's like having 4 because the garage is its own floor. The main living space is its own floor. The bedrooms are in another. And then there's also a basement. So I decided to add the basement later. I ended up going in and deciding on the basement. I think it was right when I went in. I'm not sure when I do. I think it is. It's right before I start doing the interior. I can't remember if I do the exterior first or not. I think I put the basement in before I do the exterior, and then I went to the exterior. I can't quite remember. But I just did this last night. So you'd think I'd remember a little bit more than that, but I don't. I think the house actually turned out quite cute. I was actually very happy with it. This is now in the part where it was not live streamed, so it's going to move a little bit faster and not quite, I mean, not really faster, but there's not going to be quite so much of me pausing and thinking because I cut a lot of that out. I don't record. If I'm just going to sit there and think, I don't record it. So, I have tested this house. Everything works. The staircases work, so don't worry even if they look a little weird or maybe they might glitch out a little bit or something here and there. I don't really know, but it does work. Everything works. So you shouldn't have any problems with that. I even put in some bookcases in the master bedroom to kind of make it, I don't know. I had this weird space. I didn't really want to deal with it. So there's some bookcases in the main master bedroom, and Sims can get the books. So I don't have to worry about that. Like I said, I actually did test this. One chair in the dining probably isn't going to work. It is the chair that is facing the double doors. But since I did not go with the arch like I was originally intending to do in the kitchen and living room area, that allowed for more chairs to work. So yeah, most of your dining room chairs will actually work. I was actually quite impressed. Quite often my dining room chairs usually don't work, but in this case you get 5 chairs, I believe 5 chairs. So yes, as you can see, I ended up doing the basement area before doing exterior. So but yeah, I was, like I said, this was a request. I actually got this request, oh my goodness, a few months ago actually, and I just now got around to doing it. So I was really slow about it, really slow, as you can see. They actually gave me a floor plan, and I kind of based it off of that. I'm not very good when it comes to looking off of floor plans. I mean, I can do them, but I really don't like them. So I had asked the person if it would be okay if I just built a 70s style just from my head, and I just kind of used, you know, I saw the picture that they had sent me and I went with that style of split levels. So the last split level I had done was more of an 80s style, 80s, and they were built, I believe, in the 90s as well. In this case, I decided to go with the more older style, which was very popular in the 70s. They were still building these in the 80s. They might have been building them. They're mostly popular in the 70s. I don't know if they started coming out in the 60s or not. But you don't see these get built too often, at least not where I live anymore. I think the last time I saw one being built was probably, it might have been late 90s. This is definitely, you don't see split levels being built very much anymore. Most of the houses that get built nowadays, at least where I live, are the ones that, in my opinion, have excessive roofing, and I find those really wasted space, and they have 2 ceilings, or two-story ceilings in the living room. They're called these great rooms, I guess, and they'll have indoor balconies. And yeah, they're nice and they're lavish and they're beautiful, but could you imagine the cost to replace your roof? I mean, most of the house is roof. I really don't see the point. I mean, I swear they probably spent more money in the roofing materials in these houses than anything else. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this is the kitchen. I tried to make it a little bit more old-fashioned. I wanted it to look like linoleum. In the 70s, they would have used linoleum. It was very popular back then to use them. In fact, people still use it just because it's cheaper. But I was trying to get the look of linoleum, and it's really hard to create that look in The Sims because they'll just look like tile, like stone tile. But they didn't really do that a whole lot back then. At least, you know, it just, houses like this type of split level wasn't exactly considered to be fancy and lavish and rich and all that. So they wouldn't have had all kinds of stuff like that in the split levels. They do make them, they do have updated versions of them, but again, something like that would not have came out very well in The Sims because of the way they do the little square tiles, you know, how the constrained floor elevation and changing the terrain and all that, the way it slopes. It wouldn't have come out very good. It would have looked weird. It would have looked very glitched. It wouldn't have been pretty. So that's why I chose not to do that. I don't even think I don't know if it'd even be possible. I don't know. But like I said, I tried to date the house a little bit. I was in a house very similar to this one growing up, and I kind of based the interior a little bit off of that. Now this is slightly different. The staircase going up to the bedrooms in the house that I was in was on the left, while the staircase in this one is on the right. The master bedroom was on the right when you went up the stairs, and it was the last bedroom on the right, while there, you know, the kids' bedrooms was on the left. I think there's a bathroom on the right. I'm not sure. So it's a little bit different, but at the same time, this is kind of what I based it off of. They did have a fireplace in the living room about where I had the fireplace here. Their kitchen was right behind, like it is, and the dining room is pretty much right there. I think it had a little bit of a bay window instead in the kitchen, but I can't quite remember anymore. But a lot of the split levels in this style would have been, for the most part, designed like this. The kitchen in the back, living room in the front. I didn't put any tile or linoleum or anything in the entranceway. A lot of houses wouldn't have even had that in the 70s. You would have just walked in. I mean, wood floor was not something very common, at least not where I'm from. I'm basing this off of where I am from. So, you know, if it is common where you are, okay, you know, let me know in the comments below. That'd be great, so I can, you know, find out more about other areas and what was their, well, how did they make theirs in the 70s? What kind of split levels did you have back then? Did they use a lot of linoleum? Did they use wood floor? I just know where I am from, it was mostly linoleum and carpet. In fact, they even went through a stage, oh gosh, was it the 70s? It might have been the 80s. It might have been the 80s where they put carpet in the bathroom and kitchen. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine that? Oh, that'd be so gross. Could you imagine all that on the carpet? Oh my gosh, there's no possible way I could ever have a bathroom that had carpet or a kitchen that was carpeted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no way. But I think that was an 80s thing. Don't hold me to it, I could be wrong. But it seems like that was an 80s thing. So this is the master bedroom here. I do end up putting the bookshelves in. It's where the dresser is currently at. You see how it just doesn't look right, that little space right there. It just doesn't look good, and I was never happy with it, so I ended up changing it. I tried to even keep the wallpapers in the house. I tried to make them a little bit dated, 70s, 80s. They liked wallpaper. They liked wallpaper a lot. Wallpaper and Paneling. Oh, they like floor-to-ceiling paneling in the 70s and 80s. Might have even been very popular in the 60s. I don't know. I don't know the 60s era very well, but I did use a lot of, or some paneling. I didn't do floor, well, I didn't do floor-to-ceiling paneling. But I did like 3/4 of the way up, just because I really don't like paneling, and I really don't like it floor-to-ceiling. So doing that kind of wall, even in The Sims, is very hard for me to do because I just don't like it. But I did put some paneling in the kids' bedrooms. The basement is definitely dated. The house I was in, I mean, the basement really was very far from being updated. It was just kind of slapped together, mismatched furniture, really old couches, like a couch you probably would have seen in the 60s. I mean, it was not, I mean, they had the nicer furniture upstairs instead. So, I'm not saying that wasn't a little dated too, but yeah, this does have a master bedroom. I have no idea, honestly, if the house I was in, if they had a master bedroom. When I was originally building this house, I thought, well, why don't I put one in? Because at the time I was thinking, well, I'm only going to have one bedroom in this house, and that just doesn't seem like enough. Because I was originally thinking I was going to put a laundry room in, and then I started looking for the hampers, and I realized, oh yeah, I don't have all the expansion packs. There is no laundry room. I was going to put one in the basement. That is where their laundry room was at. In fact, I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. I think it was right off of the garage. You could go into the garage was actually different too. Like, it was, I think it was a 1-car garage, and it actually faced the back of the house. So the driveway came through the front, and it went around to the back of the house, and then the garage was right there. And then they had a side door that went in, and it seems like the door going into the house, which was right at the staircases that went in, the staircases that split, that's where the door was. And when you went in, one went down to the basement, one went up, and it seems like somewhere in there is where the laundry room was. It was not in the basement. It seemed like, I don't know. I'm not exact. It's been too long. I can't quite remember. And I was never in the laundry room, but I feel like that might be where it was. I'm just not exactly 100% certain. So this house ends up having 3 bedrooms instead of originally 3 bathrooms instead of originally thinking 2, because since I couldn't put the laundry room in, I just changed it into a bathroom instead, which works out great because who wants to go all the way upstairs, up technically 3 flights of stairs to go to the bathroom when you're in the basement? So it works out. So it ends up having 4 bedrooms. This house doesn't look like it, but it looks pretty small if you ask me from the outside. And split levels a lot of times did, because they would have the basement and they would turn that into bedrooms a lot of times, or a gaming area and things like that. In fact, they ended up using part of the basement as a bedroom, the house I was in. And so they usually add get a lot more room. But yeah, this house ends up being 4 bedrooms. I believe one of the bedrooms is in the basement. It's kind of decorated a little bit more like a guest bedroom instead of the family who lives there type of bedroom. And then it has 3 bathrooms. I think you could probably fit, let me think here, 2, 4, you can fit 7 Sims comfortably. As in, there's enough beds for 7 Sims to live in this house. So that's quite a bit. And knowing me, I would probably fit that many Sims, and then I'd probably still fit more. Because for some stupid reason, I like playing households that have way too many Sims. I don't know why, but I just do. I find them more challenging. I find them more interesting. I don't know. But I usually have really large families. So this bedroom, I kind of viewed it as a little bit more like a teenage bedroom. It has some posters and a few things here and there, but not a whole lot. The other bedroom is kind of, I was thinking more like a child's bedroom. And then here is the entertainment area in the basement I was telling you about that had some really old furniture, and I love those chairs, those recliners or whatever they are. They look so old. They look like really bad leather chairs. And then the couch just felt very 60s to me. I don't know why. I didn't recolor anything except for the one side table. I just copied it from the one above. But other than that, I left everything as default colors, and I liked it. And it felt like it seemed much more dated that way, like it was very outdated. And you know how I told you about the stairs glitching? Well, right there you can kind of see how the upstairs stairs are there. I don't know why. I don't know. They're there. I don't know if you can, I don't know. I don't think I'm able to get rid of it, but your Sims can go up and down the stairs just fine, so don't worry about that. They don't seem to have any problems. I sent my Sim through the house up and down the stairs more than once, and they had no problems whatsoever. And then when I was doing this bedroom, and I discovered something doing the screenshots. I, all this time, have always thought that wallpaper, that border, I don't even know why I thought this, but I always thought those were roses. I always thought the red was roses and the green was the leaves. So I thought I put roses in this bedroom. And then I go and take pictures, and they're apples. They're apples. I was like, oh my gosh, I put apples in the bedroom. That's something you would see in the kitchen, not in the bedroom. But I left them because, like I said, I didn't see it until after. I was already decorating until after I was taking the screenshots last night. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go in and change the wallpaper. The bedroom will just have to have apples. I had already put the house, or I'd already given the file to the person who had requested the house already, and I wasn't going to make any more changes. So I guess if you don't like the apples, I guess you can just change them. All this time I thought those were roses. I've never actually really paid any attention to them. Never. The little icon in the creative style always looked like roses for some reason to me, and I don't know. I just thought that was going to be a cute border for the bedroom, and then I go take pictures and they're apples. So you have apples. But this is a screenshot from the, or I should say these are just the screenshots. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I think the house turned out really good. I put the one pine tree right there, or the spruce tree, to kind of help cover, I guess you could, a little bit the glitch, but I think it turned out great. I love the way this house turned out. It's probably one of, I don't know, it's just so cute. It's one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.